keep you up to date with everything gaming. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Michelle,
Hello.
and we are here to kill chaos. No, wait, that comes up later with the whole chaos killing bit. Right now, we're going to talk about E3, big thing happening this week. Lots of news and surprises. So we're just going to get right to it. We're starting off with Bethesda, the creators of games like Fallout and the Skyrim series, so Elder Scrolls, and they just announced Starfield, which is a interplanetary sci-fi game. No gameplay footage, but it did have a really neat trailer. And Michelle, take it away. What did you think?
I mean, I'm going to point out like the obvious thing to anyone who's like a fan of Bethesda or Skyrim. The release date for Starfield is 11/11/2022. So anyone who recognizes dates, 11/11/2011 was Skyrim's release date. So a lot of people are speculating about that. Just the gravity of this game, like it could be like another Skyrim for a lot of people. I'm like, it's always hard when we see. This is more like a teaser trailer than anything else because like no gameplay, not much story-wise being shown. Looks beautiful, like looks great. Anything space I find like myself being in awe of. They're always just like so expansive and amazing. But I don't know what to think right now. Like I'm really like, cool. I'm excited to know more eventually. But again, it's not coming out for over a year. So we're gonna have a lot of time to wait. And then I assume next E3 we'll see probably gameplay, which is kind of how this goes. So it's exciting that they're working on something, jury's out.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, but there's a lot of prestige when it comes to that. So like if Skyrim is like their version of like the fantasy genre, and Fallout is the version of the post-apocalyptic genre, just what the hell is their sci-fi gonna look like? Like that sort of game. Outer Worlds 1, Outer Worlds 2 to come. Outer Worlds scratch that itch for like the kind of game that would take place like you're going planet to planet, right? Interplanetary missions and the sort. And this, I would guess like it's going to be similar to that, but like I doubt it'll retain the humor that the Outer Worlds has. But I'm I don't own an Xbox Series X. I mean, I don't even have a PS5. So like it's I at first I was leaning towards the PlayStation 5, but like after this E3, it's like, whoa, should I think twice about my choice? Which brings us to the Xbox and the whole slew of just announcements. Dear Lord. And like a bunch of stuff from Game Pass and a bunch of big game releases. Let's just jump in. Outer Worlds 2, Psychonauts 2. Those are two sequels to two games that I'm fond of and I played previously. And dear God, I needed Game Pass. Michelle, are you familiar with either of these games?
I've heard of both. I've played neither of them actually. But okay. Seeing the like Psychonauts doesn't strike me as something that I personally would enjoy, but seeing Outer Worlds 2, that looked impressive. I was like, oh, how did I miss the first one? Like this looks really, really good. I'm interested in potentially going back and playing the first one. If like I'm not sure if it's relevant to the second one. If it is, I'd like to play it. If not, I'll probably just wait for the second one.
I mean, yeah, I love the first one. It really came out of nowhere for me. It just like it just scratched the niche that I didn't know I had. So it was right there at the perfect time. Really enjoyed it. Let's talk about Halo Infinite. They showed some multiplayer. Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah.
Say it, Michelle.
Okay, I'm a Halo fangirl. Like I am a Halo fangirl. I grew up playing Halo. Halo is my number one like just franchise I adore playing. I will always play. I'm like, the way Call of Duty fans are, I'm like that for Halo. Like I get it. It's very similar. It's gonna be the same game over and over. And I don't even care. I don't care. Just give it to me. I need it right now. I just loved, multiplayer is always so fun for Halo. So getting to see the multiplayer gameplay this time around had me absolutely hyped. That's like I sink most of my time into the multiplayer, play a lot of it with my friends and just a lot online. So it looks great. I'm so excited for it on next gen. Like I do have the Xbox Series X, so I know like my potential for what it could look like is really good. I'm gonna get a better TV, but once I do that, then it's gonna look spectacular. I'm so excited. It looks really fast. It looks like the Halo I know and love, but I'm always excited to see like the small adaptations they do, because I never feel like Halo changes that drastically in terms of gameplay. Like obviously there's a jump from like the original Halo to now, but year over year I feel like there's not too much of a jump. And I like that, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. If the gameplay's pretty sick and the controls are cool, like just add some fun stuff and like we're all gonna love it. And it's been a while for me since, like for anyone, since a good Halo came out. So I'm really excited. The only like disappointment or like the little nagging in the back of my head about it is it doesn't have a specific date of release. It's still holiday. And whenever that happens, it makes me anxious, because I'm like, can you please just like give me a day so I feel like you're committed to me and giving me this game on this day? Because holiday could be like, holidays in some cases start as early as September when it comes to this. Like games are releasing holiday season release in September, or it could be like end of December. I don't know. Like is holidays in January? I'm not sure. I just need a secure day so I can like literally put it on my calendar, because give me this stupid game. It's why I bought my newest Xbox. It's literally for this game and I need it. So
yeah. I'm just gonna say, like years ago, even before I bought like a PlayStation 4, like well into the Xbox 360 era, I just got hit with like war game first person shooter fatigue. Like I was just sick of it. I just did not want anything to do with it anymore. But like Halo's just like so different from it, and just such a fun game, especially the multiplayer, that like this is something that really speaks to me, that something that could potentially drag me to whip out that wallet. And now let's talk about some Game Pass games. Michelle, you know, we've done quite a few videos here, and every so often, what game comes up but Left 4 Dead? Yeah, and the creators, Turtle Rock Studios, they're bringing back like a spiritual sequel to it called Back 4 Blood, and the art style looks different. The character designs are different, but it's still zombies. It still retains like some reason it still feels like Left 4 Dead to me, and I couldn't be like more excited for this.
Yeah.
Tell me
Oh,
what you think.
Literally same reaction. I saw it and I was like, no. Oh my God, it is. Like, it is another Left 4 Dead. Anyone who's saying otherwise is just wrong. Like, it's from the same studio that did Left 4 Dead, literally Turtle Rock. They've left Valve, they've parted ways, and now the game's being published by WB. So like, for all intents and purposes, this is a Left 4 Dead game. The fact that they named it Back 4 Blood, like, come on, it's a Left 4 Dead game. Like, it absolutely is. In the trailer, we do see Special Infected. So like right there, it's telling me, okay, it's Left 4 Dead. There's like a whole thing going on online where it looks like one of the Special Infected of Back 4 Blood was a Special Infected that they thought about putting, I think, in the original Left 4 Dead called the Screamer. So it does, like, it's a Left 4 Dead game. Like, don't tell me it's not. The fact that they have the, I think it's called the Spawn mode, which is the PvP where the players can play as a Special Infected and you can play as the humans, which is literally a thing from Left 4 Dead 2, just renamed. Oh. Give it to me now. Give it right now. Give it to me now. It's supposed to have an open beta August 5th, and you bet your friggin' butt I am getting in that damn thing, and we're going to play it, and we're going to talk about it. And then its release date is set for, I think, early October at this point.
October 12th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect spooky month game. Like, yes. Give me it. Give me it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. And I'm nervous as well, because this game, we waited for this game for like 10 years. I don't know, when was the last Left 4 Dead 2? I think 10 or 11 years at this point.
Yeah.
Because the first one was 2008. Either way, it's been a long time coming, and I have very, very high expectations, and I really hope that the game lives up to that. But the trailer itself just got me so excited. So I'm really hopeful.
So next up, Forza Horizon 5. Am I pronouncing that right? I am not familiar with this.
Yeah.
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 So I
That's
save
how
all
I
the
pronounce it.
racing. Okay, I save all the racing for when I'm on the 401. Michelle, what did you think of the trailer?
Okay, pure transparency. I don't play racing games, but I'm always looking at them because I feel like when we see jumps in graphics and jumps in like gameplay, we see it most clearly in these racing games where it shows the potential for the rest of the games, if that makes sense. So anytime I see a Forza trailer, that's where I'm looking for, like, I don't know, the jumps in how things look, how things move, how things play, like the environmental things, because that trickles down into every other game, in my opinion. And looking at that one, I am so excited. It looks so good. I also have friends who play racing games that I know are really excited about it. And in this one in particular, like, it has ray tracing, volumetric lighting. So that itself looks spectacular. In this one, like in a lot of the racing games, I know some issues are it's very similar maps a lot of the time. This one actually takes place in Mexico, so you see a huge variety of maps. So you get some like wetter terrain, some drier terrain, which is always exciting for people. I know that's a big deal. It just looks spectacular. Like, I'm not going to play it. I don't play racing games, but it looks beautiful, and I know racing fans are going to be happy with it. So that's what I say.
Very cool. Now, I'm going to bring up like probably one of the bigger surprises of E3, in my opinion, the Sea of Thieves expansion that includes Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow of Pirates of the Caribbean fame, Disney. Okay, so this is crazy, but apparently, who is it? Rare makes Sea of Thieves. They previously made a Mickey Mouse kart game for the N64. So I guess that's how they tie it together. This is really weird. It's so weird, but you know what? Microsoft money, Game Pass, they just throw it at Disney. Disney's like, okay, so like Sea of Thieves is a pirate game, and Jack Sparrow expansion. Holy crap, Michelle.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was excited to see Barbosa in there too. Yeah. Like, Jack Sparrow's cool, but like, give me some Barbosa action. I just always think that's entertaining. I love anytime any studio is like always adding to a game, like they're expanding the game without like having to buy the expansion passes and all this crap all the time, but just like this continuous support of a game. Because Sea of Thieves came out, I don't remember how many years ago, but years ago at this point, and I love that we're seeing new and fresh content, especially because it's a game that people are still playing, people are still loving, just like we're seeing with like GTA 5. We're seeing like so many expansions because people are still like loving it, enjoying it. Why not give some new fresh content? And anything that has like a Disney stamp on it or like a well-known character will also bring new people back into the game. And I think in the case of this game, that's like a huge benefit.
Mm-hmm. And I was speaking of something fresh. There's Redfall, super powered vampire hunters. That was a crazy trailer. No gameplay footage. I don't think there was any gameplay footage, but no. we were introduced to like a few new characters. Yeah, it looked really neat. Like it got my attention. Yeah, well, how'd you feel about it?
I was intrigued by this one initially. Like, I liked the look of it, where it's like a little scary but a little fun at the same time. It's from Arcane Studios, which is, they do Dishonored and Prey, which are two games that I absolutely adore. So that makes me feel really confident about this game. From my understanding of it, it's an open world 4-player co-op, which is always fun, always exciting. And like anything with superpowers and like vampires, that sounds good to me. Like, it sounds good. This one in particular is an Xbox exclusive as well. And, you know, being the Xbox person I am, I feel treated to this game and I'm very excited about it. And this one, unfortunately, the bummer of this one, it's summer 2022. So little time to wait for it. But those people who don't have an Xbox, it gives them plenty of time to ask for it for Christmas. They can have it for next summer.
Damn you. Now let's talk about Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. And this was a little weird. It did show gameplay footage, and it was a combination of gameplay footage and just cinematics. And well, it was neat. I don't know. It felt a little lacking because like I couldn't really tell what it was about, like just how important Chernobyl is, or just like what is happening. There's a lot of mystery in this one, and seeing it as how it's a sequel to me, it kind of felt like I needed to play the first, which like a sequel should never feel, in my opinion. But were you able to like wrap your head around it?
I had honestly the same reaction. Same
Okay.
reaction. I was like, I'm not really sure. It looks cool. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh yeah, I want to play that. It didn't kind of to me have the Outer Worlds 2 effect where I'm like, oh wait, no, what is this? I want to play the first one now. I was like, cool, Stalker 2, probably won't play it because I don't think I'm gonna play the first one. And again, it feels like I need to enjoy because I literally had no idea what was going on. But I could just appreciate that it looked really cool. That part, I was like, visually looks good.
And this one is out April 28th, 2022. And that's it for the Xbox showcase. Although there are a few games that overlap, or did I
I
miss
will
something?
say one. I will just say one because this is just like near and dear to me. They still didn't give us a date for Among Us, which I'm pissed
Oh,
about. They showed it in
oh,
the Xbox showcase and they said June 15th, we're gonna have 15-player lobbies. They still don't have it for Xbox. So they have it on the computer, they have it for Android devices. 15-player lobbies is absolutely insane for anyone who plays Among Us. That is huge. That is chaotic. I'm very happy about that. Still no date on when it's supposed to come to Xbox. And it is. And they talked
yeah.
about it in the Xbox showcase and they didn't give a date. And I'm really, really disappointed about that, unfortunately. So yeah.
Okay. And we'll cap off we'll put a pin in that the Xbox talk. But like that's literally like the only negative thing to say about them, because they had a hell of an E3. And now we'll move on to another pretty good E3, Ubisoft. They had a few new things to show and some expansion DLC. We got to see a lot of it. Watch Dogs, Watch Dog Legion's Bloodline. There's an expansion for that. I haven't played any of the Watch Dogs games, unfortunately.
None?
Yeah, none, zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's always on the back burner. It's like, oh, I'll play it later. And then like later came, and I'm still like I'm replaying Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island.
Fair. I mean, I really like Watch Dogs. I do have like an extreme bias for why I like Watch Dogs so much. This is like a weird side story, but I'll tell it because I love to tell the story. It's one of the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. But when not Watch Dogs Legion, but the one before it, I forget what it's called, came out, or was coming out, and they were doing press and everything for it, I actually got invited to some Ubisoft events. And I got to do like a escape room type of thing themed around Watch Dogs, in which they actually recorded us, and that was one of the trailers they posted for the game. So I'm actually technically in a trailer for the Watch Dogs game. So like I'm always gonna like Watch Dogs. And then like they took us all out and they treated us to a night downtown Toronto, put us up in a hotel. Like I got spoiled by Ubisoft Toronto team, and I adore them, and they're really nice, and it was a good time. But so for that reason, I'm always gonna play Watch Dogs. I did play Watch Dogs Legion, and here's where I kind of turn around. It was glitchy as hell. It was so glitchy, and I put so much time into it, and then I unfortunately got the glitch where you lose your game. So I lost 20 hours of gameplay, and I tried really hard to get back into it, and like I found this like hack online of like you have to stay offline while you're playing, and then like exit the game before you go back online. So if you're trying to like play other games, you have to like constantly like disconnect from the internet and this and that. I did that for a while, and I got about another 20 hours into the game, but it was just such a pain in my butt that I just didn't go back to it. So I won't play the expansion because it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Though I was loving the game that first 20 hours before the glitch. Like I was loving it. It was so fun and so good, but that hurt my feelings. So I won't play it.
Oh, that's really too bad. It reminds me of another Ubisoft game that I kind of fell out of touch of the franchise because of like the glitchiness of like I experienced with a few of their games, and that's the Assassin's Creed franchise. But speaking of which, Valhalla, their most recent entry, they have a DLC coming out. They just announced Siege of Paris. Sorry to the Frenchmen out there. Apparently, they're getting it from the Vikings soon enough. But next, let's talk Rainbow Six Extraction. Michelle, you have a lot to say about it, don't you?
Not a lot. I have some things to say. So I really liked the Rainbow Six games. Like the older ones were some of my absolute favorite. They felt like the more realistic tactical shooters, which as someone who loves shooters, that was kind of a different one for me because, I'm playing a lot of Halo, playing Call of Duty, playing Battlefield, whatever, whatever. And this one felt like a little bit more realistic, a little bit better. I'm sorry, what is Extraction? There's aliens? There's what? What game is it? It does like get rid of no, it's not a rainbow, it's not Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Like stop, Tom Clancy is rolling over in his grave. It like no, absolutely not. It doesn't feel like that should be what this game is. It like I want to hate it. It looks interesting. I just hate that it's a Rainbow Six game. It has this like really like there's like an aliens and this like goop stuff and it's very like high sci-fi type of vibes, and that's not what the Rainbow Six games are like. That's when you think Rainbow Six, that's literally not it at all. That ain't it. And from what I can tell, the gameplay and like all of the controls are pretty much exactly like the Division 2, which I don't know how I feel about that. So and like the responses online, I was looking at the responses on the trailer and like it doesn't. People are mad. People are mad about that. Mad about the aliens and all the things. So I was so excited for another Rainbow Six, and this ain't it for me. So I'll probably play it, but I probably won't be happy about it.
Well, maybe the Tom Clancy estate will be happy by it if it makes big numbers.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that that's the reason why.
September 16th, 2021. So this is a this year release. So it's like soonish.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's talk about. See, I don't know what to finish with, but you know what? I'm gonna make a snap decision. Let's talk first about Avatar, or as Arnold pronounced it, Abuda, at the Academy Awards. That's how he pronounced it. It was hilarious.
Oh my god!
So Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It looks beautiful. It looks crazy. If only this was a brand new property that we didn't know about, but unfortunately it was like one of the biggest movies ever that had zero cultural impact and like no impact on the zeitgeist. Like nobody references Avatar, but that's just my personal gripe about Avatar, that like the movie is just like one and done. Somehow it was huge and like no one talks about it anymore. But anyways, we got a video game. It looks sharp. Ubisoft put out something really good looking and exciting. It might be pretty good. You play as one of the I forgot the aliens' names. What are they called?
The Na'vi.
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 That's it.
Na'vi.
Yeah, Na'vi. Not something like that.
The blue people.
That's right. The blue, really tall ass blue people. Yeah, and they're fighting the military troops and robots and stuff that they send after them. How did you react to this one?
No, correct me if I'm wrong. Is there not? I'm literally Googling it right now. Is there not supposed to be another Avatar movie? Is that not happening?
Yeah, it's been pushed back and back and back and back. It's supposed to come out next year, 2022,
okay.
But yeah, it might not. But,
okay,
but hey, who are we to tell James Cameron he can't? You know, James Cameron.
Not me. Do your thing, James.
Yeah.
I had kind of a neutral reaction to this. I really liked the movie. Like I really liked it. And honestly, I do like I've never heard anyone mention it really. And I understand your kind of gripe with like it not being it was such a big thing at the time and then it just like no one ever talked about it again. So that's really funny. I used to have a fish named Jake Sully after Sam Worthington's character. I had a fish named that. Why? I like the movie. The game, it looks like colorful and beautiful. I don't care too much about it, honestly, especially because to me it's the movie. Like Avatar is the movie, and this is a completely different side story taking place in that universe. Like in that, it's just on the other side of the world, apparently. And I don't care enough about the world, truthfully, to be really invested in this. I like the characters of Avatar. Not like the world's beautiful, but I don't care that much about it. So it kind of
I think like probably I'm interested in it for the opposite of reason you are. Just the fact that like they have the opportunity to expand on this this lush environment. So like I want to see what they come up with, hoping it's good because I don't know. I don't really care for Avatar. Like I want a reason to like it. Like that's basically it. But okay, let's close out the Ubisoft portion of the talk with Mario Rabbids or Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So correct me if I'm wrong. No gameplay there was some gameplay footage, but it was mostly a trailer showing a new big bad and Rosalina Rabbid. Which is really cool. She's a lazy one, by the way, so I can really relate to that one. It was all kinds of cool. I loved the first game. It was a really cool puzzle game, and it's like one of those things where like Mario never put the discount price on their games unless it's tanking. But like Mario Rabbids 1, you can get that for a pretty good price. So that's basically like my love for it. Is like, hey, you can take a chance on this. And it turned out to be a really good game, but so I'm looking forward to it. How did you feel?
Not my cup of tea. Like I appreciate that it exists, and like take me back to my EB Games days. I love when those types of games exist because like, hey, Mario, like more Mario, people like it. Moms come in, I want a Mario game. Here you go, have Mario Rabbids. Why not? But for me, I'm not gonna play it. But it was cute. Like it was fun. Before we fully move out of like Ubisoft, it's worth mentioning Far Cry, though that was I think part of the Xbox, but all of the videos are now on the Ubisoft YouTube channel. So we saw a lot more for Far Cry 6. We had an entire like teaser cinematic video of the new villain in the game. So based on my understanding of it, it's all taking place in kind of like a tropical island, and we have this like, I don't know, this dude who's in charge of the island and he's mean. that's it. It looks good. I have liked Far Cry games. I've never actually fully beaten one, as is the way I play a lot of games. I don't fully beat a lot of them. I just play a little bit, but it looks good, and I know people are going to be excited for that. So I think Far Cry 6 is worth mentioning, and that one is, I believe, October 7th, 2021. So again, this year.
Cool.
And that's Ubisoft Toronto does Far Cry. So our Toronto peeps, what up?
And I should probably mention that both Avatar and Mario Rabbids 2 coming out 2022. And also announced, I believe, a Far Cry compilation, like the first few games, free to play on some sort of pass system. I don't know if it was a gamer pass for Xbox or if it's like a Ubisoft pass.
I think they have their own.
Yeah, pretty sure
their own one, I think.
So pretty good outing from Ubisoft. I gotta say that. And now let's put on the gloves and like get in the muck of Square Enix's paltry offerings. But we'll start out with what I thought wasn't too paltry, with what got my interest. Guardians of the Galaxy. Seems that Square Enix, they care about their Marvel properties. They kind of fumbled the ball on their Avengers game, and but here's their second shot at redemption with Guardians of the Galaxy for more positive fan reaction. So I thought it looked cool. Everyone complains about Star-Lord's hair, but you know what? You gotta have the hair visible with the mask on. So like they gave him that ugly like douchebag hair. I forgive that. How did you feel about this one?
It's interesting because when I saw it as part of like the Square Enix stuff, I was like, yeah, that's fine. But then they show it again kind of differently in the Nintendo Direct, which we'll talk about in a separate video. We're going to talk about Nintendo Direct, but they show it again there. And the way they presented there actually made me more interested because it was presented more like silly and more fun, which is what I would have hoped it would be. And that's how they presented in the Nintendo one. So I'm actually really excited for this game. I think it looks interesting. Though from what I can tell, it's actually not like a co-op game in any way. And you actually control the rest of the Guardians. And I prefer those style of games to actually be co-op, but that's just me.
I too have no friends. So I know where you're coming from. Or maybe that's just me without any friends, but okay.
No, my issue is I do have friends. I want to play co-op. I need humans to play with. My issue is I have one friend. And so I got to play co-op games with my one friend.
Okay. I see. Well, I know I'm looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy game, like just sitting at home alone, staring at a bright screen in the dark. Okay. Let's move on to the Final Fantasy. Dear God. Let's talk about the Pixel remaster. Okay. Let's go there for like iOS and Steam, but not for major consoles. And the Pixel remaster isn't much of a remaster because quite a lot of the details are being dropped for sharpness of the characters. A lot of rage about this one. It's the first 6 games of the Final Fantasy series, the ones people grew up with. That's why they care about Final Fantasy. And yeah, Square Enix is doing this. So I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy guy, but like I've played a few of them, and something like just a port could have caught my interest. But like, yeah, they're doing all sorts of things wrong. Michelle, how did you feel about this one?
I've never played Final Fantasy my entire life, so I had no true opinion. I'm waiting for the day that I want to play Final Fantasy. Like I'm waiting for, I don't know, like I know, right? Just like a way that it, because I feel like I'm so behind on it. Like I've missed so much. I didn't grow up playing it. I don't have that like feeling. So I can't really go back and play some of the older ones because they don't have that nostalgia factor for me. So I'm waiting for a way for them to make Final Fantasy a little bit more like welcoming to people who've never played it before, because I've never got that vibe from it. So I'm always, when they're doing new Final Fantasy things, I'm like, please do it in a way that interests people who haven't played it, that interests me, because I play a lot of games. I'd like to feel like I want to play it, and it's not there for me. So,
well, guess what? Nothing will change at all with the with the news of Final Fantasy Origin Stranger in Paradise. Or I think I got the order wrong. Stranger in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and dear God, apparently he wants to kill Chaos. Chaos. It was like a parody of a game, and like this is like one of the flaws of Final Fantasy games. Like they take themselves way too seriously. The only people that take like themselves more seriously are the Final Fantasy fans. So like, yeah, it's crazy. They were not happy about Final Fantasy Origin, this Stranger in Paradise, and nor should they, because there was nothing impressive about it. The character designs were like they just got some Devil May Cry characters and put them in Final Fantasy and try to use Final Fantasy lore. It was burned my eyes. Michelle.
Yeah, to me it just looked kind of like a hot mess, and I was like, I don't. What? what? That's honestly like how I feel about a lot of Final Fantasy. I'm like, I don't understand. Everyone's like try-harding, like all the characters are a little much. But I get it. Like that's, people are used to that and that's what they like. But for me, I'm just like, I don't. What? So it's a no from me, dog.
Yeah, you and a lot of people feel that way. Don't you worry. Okay, let's step away from Square Enix, and let's talk about some of the reveals that occurred just prior to E3. And first of which, I'm pretty sure that you're a fan of this franchise. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the Evil Dead franchise. Horror.
Oh, of course.
Horror.
Of course.
Dear God, like my mouth dropped. It was only like 2 minutes or like 2-3 minutes, and I'm just like, what? All this stuff. So they're lifting stuff from the movies, the 3 movies, the part 1, part 2, and Army of Darkness, and even the show. There were a few of the characters from the show there, and
with
you
the
had
actual voice actors from the show.
That's brilliant.
Voicing the characters. Yeah.
Bruce Campbell was narrating it. He was as Bruce Campbell as he can be. They had the Deadites. They're called Deadites, right? The zombie monsters. So it's a 4-player co-op. It's kind of like in the same style of those Dead by Daylight games, except no.
I don't think so, but I think they're trying to capture that audience.
Yes. Yeah. Because like there were like Deadites coming after you. They're just like normal enemies. You can kill them like easy enough. But it had the option for you as a player to choose like, I guess like a master Deadite or like a stronger evil character. So like that's what makes me feel like it's kind of like a Dead by Daylight. Like that's like the monster figure. Probably can still be beaten if you read from the tome, the Book of the Dead. That's also like, it has to be in the game.
Yeah.
And I have to mention too, Evil Ash is also in it in his medieval regalia with the sword. Oh my god, it's so cool. Yeah, are you as excited as I am?
Yes. Oh, I like this. This is an interesting one for me because I am such like I'm a fan of Evil Dead, and I'm a big fan of Dead by Daylight. Ash is already in Dead by Daylight as a survivor. So to me, I'm like, okay, like I want to compare the games, but I don't want to compare the games. So seeing the gameplay where in this one, the Evil Dead game, you're fighting, like you're actually fighting. So all those times I played as Ash and Dead by Daylight, I'm like, give me my chainsaw. I just want to fight. This is the answer to that for me. I'm so excited. They did mention in it that like you're fighting and there's an objective. The objective is to like secure the bridge between the worlds or something of that nature. So there is like the objective side of things, but you're able to fight, unlike Dead by Daylight, where there's just live is essentially the objective. So that for me, I'm thrilled. Like it look and like just as a fan, seeing the different locations like in video game form, I'm so excited for that. The only like trepidation I have is that they did the God, what was the game? Was it the hell? No, Friday the 13th. There you go. That's what it was. Yeah, sorry. It was I believe it was the Friday the 13th game where they made it, and it was like kind of like Dead by Daylight, but it was like again iconic horror. It sucked. It sucked so bad. The gameplay was atrocious. It was all fan service, no gameplay. And so that makes me a little nervous that the Evil Dead's gonna be all fan service and not actual like game substance, or like replayability or storyline or something. So I'm a little bit nervous, but it looks fun. So I'm excited for that reason.
Absolutely. Like just the nostalgia on that is just killing me. And let me see, the game's coming out 2021. Possibly another Halloween game. My lord, that's going to be a busy Halloween. And let's talk about the final game on the agenda. Maybe the one that got. Oh, sorry.
Nope. Sorry, got to do a shout out for my Diablo 2 fans.
Oh, you're right.
My
yes,
friends,
Diablo
my Diablo bros. Diablo Resurrected, which is the Diablo 2 remaster. And that is September 23rd, 2021. Looks great. I love Diablo 2 so much. It has a special place in my heart. I played the absolute crap out of it. I beat it. I beat that game. I'm going to beat it again in the remastered edition. And this again this one had already actually been leaked prior to E3, so it was supposed to be a big reveal for E3, but it already been leaked, so it didn't get the fanfare that it deserved. But it is a very exciting thing for Diablo fans. So for my Diablo bros, Diablo 2.
Yeah, I've never played any of the Diablo games, but it looked really good. It like it captured my interest. I'll say that much.
Yeah, 8-player co-op silliness.
Whoa, damn. Okay. So now the very final thing, and that is Elden Ring. A lot of positive reactions for this one. It's sort of in the same vein of like the Dead Souls games, ultra hard, medieval. Yeah. Sorry, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, yeah. And so it's a collaboration between George R. Martin and the Dark Souls creative director Hidetaka Miyazaki. And it looks amazing. They showed a lot in this trailer. Like it would not stop. Just like the just a rush of new stuff. It's gonna be the game to play for like the next few years. That's what everyone's expecting. It's out January 21st, 2022. And it captivated me. How about you?
It had that effect on me. Now, I never played Demon Souls or Dark Souls, but I did play Bloodborne, which is kind of in that same super hard, really just rage-inducing vein. And I really enjoyed that. And visually, this one looks so impressive. The George R. R. Martin thing, like the fact that he's building this world. I mean, I got certain thoughts about him, but I think he can still build a pretty sweet world. So I'm really excited for this one. I'm also actually happy that this one comes out next year at the start of the year, because I feel like the fall is so slated for me personally. I'm gonna be very busy, and then come the new year, I'm gonna need something to really like keep me captivated for a couple months until Redfall comes out. So this is gonna be my game between Halo, and then it's going to be this, and then it's going to be Redfall, hopefully. So I'm really excited. It looks spectacular. I hope it's just as rage-inducing and challenging as we all expect it to be.
Probably will be. Okay, so that puts an end to all the recaps. So now I'm going to ask you what are like the top three games or properties that you were most impressed by.
Okay, well, I mean, I think we all, like, if you watch this video up to this point, I think you can guess. Back for Blood, absolutely, that's top tier for me. I'm so hopeful. I really, really want it to be good. I really want to like it. Of course, Halo Infinite. Halo's always going to be a thing for me. Then, I mean, I'm trying not to just go with like the obvious ones like Diablo or like, you know. I feel like I want to like Starfield. I never played Skyrim. I tried to play it and I got lost in a forest immediately, and then I just gave up. But I never really dived too much into like space exploration games. They've never been a genre that I've personally loved. And I really want to, because I know there's so much potential there and it can be really, really fun. So I'm hopeful for that one for me personally, just to kind of expand what I currently play, because I play very predictable games. Like from this list, you know exactly what I like and what I want to play. Anything remotely horror, zombie, and shooting, give me it. I'll play it. So I want to hopefully expand my horizons with Starfield. What about you?
I'm with you 100% with Starfield. Like just like I love Skyrim. I didn't even beat it, but like I never really felt like I had to. Like I put in like maybe 40-50 hours into the game, and it still felt like there was like a lot more left. So I loved it. Same with Fallout. I love Fallout 3. Obviously Fallout New Vegas. Haven't played 4. I don't even know if Bethesda. Yeah, Bethesda did 4. But
I played 4.
Yeah. How was that one?
Glitchy. It's better now,
yeah,
but it was really glitchy at the time. So my game actually broke and I got stuck and I would have had to start again, but I refused. So
well, hopefully Starfield isn't that same way. I do have high expectations for that one, because like sci-fi by these creators, I think it'll be a good one. Obviously Back for Blood, like you know what else is there to say? It's just for the love of Left 4 Dead. And dear Lord, just for the fan service, but like now that you mention it, like a lot of these fan servicey games turn out to be pretty crap. So it's possible Evil Dead will not deliver, but I have got my fingers crossed for it. And yeah, so who do you think won E3 so far?
Me. I won.
You did, yeah.
as honestly though, it feels like this year, like as I hate the word gamer. Yeah. It makes me, but as a gamer, whatever, I feel like I won this year. Like I feel excited. I don't remember feeling as excited last year, really at all. Especially like I'm excited in the near future. Like I'm excited for like 2 months from now when these games start to, or 3 months from now when these games start to come out. I feel like this is a good year for gaming. This next, like I'll give it like the next like 16 or so months, like next year and a bit. It feels like a good time to play video games. It feels like we have a great assortment, and I feel like everyone's gonna have something for them this year. Whereas I feel like there are some years where like us shooter players, like we thrive, we get everything in a year, and other people who play different genres maybe don't get as much, or they don't get as many AAA titles. And it feels like this year we get a wide assortment of different titles, and that's really, really exciting. So like I win, and also I win because I own an Xbox already. So like here we go.
I definitely did not win. I lose because like prior to this E3, I'm like, oh, PlayStation all the way. I love the properties. You know, God of War. I have to see how that turns out. Any more Spider-Man games. But like after watching like all the Xbox stuff there is to play, oh my God, it's like now I have some heavy thinking to do. The only thing I could think of is like I know it would have been impossible, but if they would have put this all out prior to the 2021 holiday season, there would have been a huge surge of like Xbox sales. And yeah, it would have been a lot closer in terms of sales like then versus the PlayStation 5.
You mean like
but
if they put it out before last year?
Exactly. Yeah. Last year,
Yeah.
the holiday season of last year would have. Then again, there were no consoles for either.
Yeah, there was nothing to
company.
be found anyways.
Yeah.
But I feel like this year, especially at least where we are, like Ontario in Canada, but Ontario specifically with all of the shutdowns and reopenings and stuff, we're gonna see a lot more stock on the consoles because retailers haven't necessarily all been open or available, or like things are slower. So I think we're gonna see a restock as things start to reopen for us. And then with all of this news and going into this holiday season where hopefully there's not another shutdown, I think we're going to see an increase in Xbox sales, in my opinion, because Xbox at least was even easier to get than PlayStation. And from what I understood based on like my friends who still work at EB Games, it wasn't from lack of Xbox had more stock to start with. So they were a little bit more available versus PlayStation, which had less stock, but who knows?
Okay. And with that, kudos Xbox. The features in your hands, and damn you, PlayStation, because you were completely absent from E3. So that's on you guys. All right. I think that's it. Thank you for joining us on SideQuest. I'm Alex. I've been joined by Michelle. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.